Am I the a-hole for exposing my dad's affair and destroying his new family? I, 17M, grew up in a pretty messed up family dynamic. My parents divorced when I was 5, and it was one of those divorces where the bitterness didn't fade with time. If anything, it got worse. My dad acted like my mom was the absolute worst human being alive. He never missed a chance to badmouth her, and the energy he carried about her was toxic. The thing was, most of what he said didn't even add up. He'd contradict himself constantly. He'd rage about her going back to work instead of being a stay-at-home mom, then turn around and complain about her wanting date nights while he was too busy. None of it made sense. It just felt like he needed a reason to hate her, so he'd invent whatever narrative fit. When I was around 8, he remarried a woman named Anya, and they went on to have 3 kids together. My relationship with them was complicated. I didn't exactly love how Dad and Anya treated my mom in conversations, but on the surface, they were decent enough to me. Not perfect, not terrible, just somewhere in the middle. But it was always clear where their loyalties lay, and I always felt like defending my mom made me the problem in their eyes. Then, a few months ago, everything shifted. Anya's birthday party got a little too wild, and my dad got absolutely drunk. At some point during the night, when it was just the two of us, he opened his big mouth and spilled a truth I never saw coming. He admitted he had been cheating on my mom with Anya for 2 years before the divorce. He actually bragged about it. He told me he got away with it because no one ever found out, and he laughed about how mom's attempts to plan date nights almost ruined things for him. He said he hated her for getting too close to discovering the truth, and he even admitted that he and Anya used to laugh behind her back about how clueless she was. He said he was proud she never caught him. I can't even describe the rage I felt. For years I'd listened to this man talk about my mom like she was trash, like she was the problem, like she'd failed him. And all that time, he was the liar. He was the cheater. He was the one who betrayed our family. The next day, when he sobered up, I confronted him. He panicked instantly, realizing what he'd told me. He begged me not to say anything, and Anya jumped in too, saying I'd ruin everything if I told. But honestly, at that point, I didn't care about protecting him. I told my mom first. It broke her, even years after the fact. She told me she had always suspected something but never had solid proof. Hearing the truth was painful, but she also told me she was relieved to finally know. She said she was done trying to stay civil with him for my sake, and honestly, I told her she didn't have to pretend anymore. If she wanted to be hostile, she had every right. He earned it. She even admitted she wished she'd been able to prove it back then because maybe a custody judge would have taken her more seriously. But I didn't stop there. I told his entire side of the family. Because for years, they'd lectured me about how faithful my dad was, how my mom wasn't good enough, how I needed to respect him more. They covered for him, supported him, and enabled him. So, I figured they deserved to know the truth they'd been blindly defending. At first, they didn't believe me. But eventually, after enough details, they realized I wasn't making it up. The fallout was massive. They turned on him, called him disgusting and immoral, and told him God would never forgive him for destroying a marriage and lying about it for years. And it didn't just stop with him. They cut off Anya and their kids too. His family told me they didn't even consider the younger kids legitimate grandchildren anymore. That's when my dad snapped. He called me evil, vindictive, and said I destroyed his entire family out of spite. He accused me of ruining innocent kids' lives by dragging them into grown-up problems. But I told him straight. He ruined my childhood by poisoning me against my mom for 12 years while hiding the fact that he was the one who betrayed her. He didn't like that answer. Anya got involved too, saying I was cruel because their kids would lose me as a brother and I was cutting them off for something they had no part in. But in my eyes, they weren't innocent victims because I wasn't treated as one when he weaponized me against my mom. At that point, I went no contact with all of them. The only reason I can't fully block my dad yet is because of the custody agreement until I turn 18. But Anya and their kids use his phone to send me guilt-tripping texts, telling me I've destroyed their lives and made their kids collateral damage. Maybe I did. But I can't feel guilty for making my dad face the consequences of his own actions. So, am I the a-hole for telling the truth and letting the fallout land where it did?